Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an honor to be live with you each and every week for these Eagles game. And this is such a controlled rage that we're at right now. And then when I said it's starting to simmer, it's slowly starting to simmer. And today, down at the link, I know people are already down there. I know it's a madhouse already down there. We've seen the itineraries. We've seen the people talk about turkey cheesesteaks. We've seen them want to wear their gold jackets at 4 a.m. at the art museum. We've seen the pictures of the Rocky Stadium. You don't come to our house and don't think that we won't answer the door if you start knocking too goddamn hard. All I want to say is get fucking ready. It's a Philly thing. Let's go. And we are live. Welcome everybody back to another episode of MoneyPot Podcast. I'm sorry if that monologue too long, but I'm trying to control myself, Wilson. I am trying to keep it all in and all together, but I'm ready to just snap. Right? We've taken the slander for a couple of days to a week now. I got my coffee, and I guarantee you, you might not be the same, but in my coffee, it's not just coffee in this business. There's some Jack and some 49ers tears that I found over the weekend that I am slowly sipping, and enjoying this cup until it's game time, man. I want to welcome everybody back to another episode of Money Pod Podcast. I am the host. I am the CEO. I am him. I am Moss Money. And that is my guy, the guru of DFS, the player prop master himself. They call him Willie Vegas.
What up?
What's
What
good,
up?
bro?
What up? What's
What
good?
up?
What's
What up?
good? I'm trying not to get too hyped yet, but I'm ready.
Oh yeah, we're ready. Oh, we are ready. We are ready to go. And we've seen so many podcasts, so many hype videos, so much stuff has been out there getting us ready. But you guys are here to make bets and win money. So I want to try to keep my focus on that, but it is very hard right now. It is very hard right now. So I'm going to try and kind of slow it all down. Let's talk some money. Let's talk some bets. Let's win you some money. And then maybe a little bit afterwards, we'll get a little bit hype. Make sure if you guys don't know, I want to drop this too. If you don't know, if you're heading down, if you're down, going to the link, or if you're on your way down there, make sure you stop by A2D tailgate going on. What is that? Lot H or G? I forget.
I think it's
one.
G lot. Yeah.
G Lot. Go ahead
Yes.
and go G Lot. Sponsor for Primos. Hell of a deal. $20. All you can eat. I think they got kegs, they got beer, they got Jello shots, they got games. You know what it is. If you've been tailgating down with the link, you already know what it is. But if you haven't been tailgating with A2D, now you know what it is if you get your ass down there, man. So let us get the show on the road. I'm going to do a new sports book here, Willie. I liked a couple bets that I saw for future bets at our neighborhood sports book, Parks app. So if you ever been to the sports books, probably the best sports book maybe in the state. It's a great sports book if you ever been there. TVs everywhere, very Vegas-esque, got VIP tables, all the good stuff. So and I know I think Trey Thomas and who is it? Trey Thomas and what's his name? Damn, what's his name? Who was 81? Obviously not T.O. Jason Avant is down there. Yeah, they do their show down there as well. Their morning show down there, so you can get to see some Eagles.
I love some Jason Avant, by the way.
Yeah,
Jason Avant, very overlooked guy. He was a hard-nosed dude, caught everything. Great hands.
Yeah, stickies.
Yep.
All right. So the poll question of the day. I don't think it's too hard. Will both favorites cover the spread today? Agree or disagree? Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Let us know. Talk to us. What do you think about from a betting perspective? Are you betting both favorites today? Quick, maybe money, two-team money line, and have the Andy Reid Bowl that we've been kind of talking about for like the last 5 years that might come. I'm going to agree to the poll here. I think it's a little chalky. I think it makes a lot of sense. Obviously, I'm not betting against the Birds, right? Like,
Yeah,
you know what I
no.
mean? Like, so we can skip that part. The big question is, will KC finally get over the hump? I think I've been saying this all week. This is the new Brady versus Manning matchup. The two probably consensus best 1 and 2 punch of quarterbacks in the league as we know it right now. And I think that Burrow has that kind of Brady kind of record, right? Because he hasn't lost. When Brady and Manning always went, it seemed like Brady always won, right? And Manning got one, I think, in the playoffs maybe once or twice, but the overall record, Brady had a really decent record against Manning, and we're seeing that right now. Burrow's 4-0 against Pat Mahomes, and I'm thinking they're 2-0 in KC. So since he's the starting quarterback. So it's going to be a big challenge, obviously, in that game. And then obviously Pat having the ankle injury. That line is so many goddamn times. It was first open at -1. Then it went, no, I'm sorry. It was almost -3 KC. Then it went all the way to -1 Cincinnati. And now it's back to -1.5 Kansas City. And it's all because of how Pat Mahomes looked when he got off a goddamn press box, right? That ankle didn't have no gip, and then the line switched immediately, Wilson.
Yeah, I saw
That shit was funny.
I saw him run it wasn't a full out sprint, but he was running, and they were like, "Oh, Casey."
Yep, he's good. Yep. right.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I've been on the Bengals for a while. I have the Bengals future of
you have a future bet on the Bengals.
Yeah, I have a future on the Bengals and the Eagles. So I mean, if they get to the bowl, I'm a happy guy because one of them is going to win.
Yeah, but, facts.
I honestly. I've been on the Bengals for a while, but this whole week the Bengals are doing too much chirping for me. A lot of talk about Burrowhead. He owns Mahomes, owns the Chiefs, all that. To me, that's a little too much. That's a little too much of this. This is when you get punched in the mouth when you start doing too much chirping. Too much chirping. That's why I think I've been on the Bengals for a while, but now I'm like, dude, now that everyone's on the Bengals, I think I'm back on the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm on the Chiefs too. Yeah, I'm on the Chiefs. I think the story, you know how NFL loves stories, right? The story writes itself with, with the Birds. In the Birds. Yep. Yeah, the story writes itself. And then the underlying story underneath it all is the Kelsey brothers facing each other, two brothers facing each other in the Super Bowl. I don't know if that's the first time that's happened or not, but just where they are, we all know this could be Kelsey's kind of last dance here. And how about that? Kelsey, Cox, and Graham could be their last day in Eagles uniform at home. So that is
hopefully not.
Hopefully not. But yeah. So let's get right into it. Now as we always talk about, shop around, right? Shop around for your sports book. I think I'm gonna start adding that to my posts and stuff. So if you haven't follow MoneyPot Podcast, please do follow MoneyPot Podcast. And if you weren't following, I told you to get on Joel Embiid for MVP earlier in the month when it was 12-1. Now it's 3-1. Pays to listen. Just trying to say. So let's go with the first game right now. Eagles at this sports book is now -3 money line, -159. Total is 45.5. It is a little bit higher. I could see some sharps and some professional money starting to come back on the Niners once it hit that +3. We already know I like the Birds. I know Wilson likes the Birds as well. But let's get into the player props. Talk to me, Wilson. You said you had some plays you love today. Let the people know.
I love AJ Brown over yards today. Okay. And I love AJ Brown for an anytime touchdown today as well. I think it's an AJ game today. The San Fran is most susceptible to getting beat deep. They've got a lot of deep pass plays, and I think AJ gets one. I think AJ gets him for one today for a tutty, maybe two. But I love him over yards and an anytime touchdown. I love it.
So the way you read bet parks, they do it by scale, right? So you can go, under, over.
For that one, I might go all the way up to like over 79.5. I love it.
79.5 plus 118. I think that's a good play.
I like it.
Yeah, I think that's a good play. It's interesting that you went Brown because Brown makes a lot of sense, especially off, from before the last game.
And it kind of didn't use them last game that much.
Yeah,
he was kind of whining a little bit. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a good AJ game. I really do.
I'm on the opposite side of that. I think Devontae has the game today.
Now, guess what? They both could have a good game because
absolutely,
the best way to beat them is downfield. Yes,
absolutely. I think Devontae has a good game, and I'm willing to take the gamble. I think Devontae gets over 100 yards today. So I like the Devontae over 100, over 99.5 yards, 3-1. I think that's a pretty decent bet. I think he gets to 70 in a sleep.
Good odds.
Yeah, I think he gets to 70 in sleep, and I think he gets over. I was looking at Quez because I was thinking that third receiver might come into play here, and he's got some really interesting numbers here. For him to get 20 yards is only plus 160. Now I know he's been disappearing a while, but in these certain games, some people kind of show up.
I might even go 29.5 because you figure, to me, Quez is the guy that if he catches one, it's going to be like a 40-yarder.
Bomb. Yeah, it's going to be a bomb. Yeah. And like you said, him going deep, that smells like Quez, right?
Yeah.
I think he's going to get a shot for sure.
Oh,
they're going to take a shot for sure.
I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to take a shot for sure. So me and Wilson both like the opposite receivers. We kind of both like each other's plays, actually, but we're just going to go with the opposite one where we put money, and we both kind of lean towards Quez and even taking over. I would do 20. I think he could get a 22, 21-yard reception. He's always good for yak too. So I don't mind the plus 160 here, but if like Wilson, if you like him to catch something deep for almost 30 yards, 3-1 is a pretty decent play as well.
Yeah.
All right. Any other player props, best bets you have for the Eagles versus San Francisco game?
I do. I would say I think it's probably not a bad play. McCaffrey over receptions, maybe even Ayuk and Debo, because I'm not expecting a lot of 5-7 step drops from Brock Purdy with our D line and how ferocious they are. I'm thinking that they're going to try to throw the ball quickly.
Good call.
Quick passing. Yeah. Probably a lot of trying to get the ball in their playmakers' hands. Ayuk, Samuel, Kittle, McCaffrey. And I expect them to throw the ball like, wide receiver screens, quick slants, a lot of that. A lot of get the ball out of Purdy's hands quickly. So I could see over receptions for a couple of the San Fran guys.
Any guy in particular you really like?
McCaffrey over receptions I love because I think they're going to have to throw the ball. And
so what do you like them, 4.5?
I don't think they're going to run on us.
Yeah, I don't think so either, and I don't think McCaffrey's healthy enough to run anyway. So, what are you thinking? 4.5?
I love that. What's that? Plus 102 right there? Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, plus 102. Yep.
And
I think that's a decent play.
I think Debo, I could even go mainly because Debo's probably higher. I might even go Ayuk as well because I feel like they throw a lot of wide receiver screens to Ayuk. And I think that's the kind of game plan that they're going to use today.
Yeah, I think Ayuk here is his is low. It's only 3.5
right?
minus 120.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah.
Yeah. They got a lot of mouths to feed, so it'll be interesting to see how they do it. But I absolutely agree. I think the bulk of their guys getting catches is going to be Kittle and McCaffrey. So I like both of those guys over 4.5. That makes a lot of sense to me. But it's weird too because Purdy's player prop for his on FanDuel, like his passing prop is only like 215 yards. And I'm just trying to think, like, how are they going to come in here and he throws no more than 220 yards, 230 yards, and think they're going to win? Like we were like that tells me we really have to shit the bed, or they're going to run all over us.
No, I'll be honest with you. In my opinion, the only way shouldn't say the only way, but the way that we lose this game is if we turn the ball over and give them short fields. Because I don't see them driving the length of the field consistently with their offense against our defense, especially in our stadium. I just don't. That's why I feel like if we don't turn the ball over, we don't shoot ourselves in the foot. This is our game. It's our game.
Yeah. No, I agree, and I think this is a Jalen Hurts game all over for me. I think he
definitely is over rushing yards for sure.
I don't know about rushing. I was thinking passing.
I think he's going to have to run. Last year against, I know we lost to them last year. Like, what was it, like 19-11 or something? It was like a weird score, 17-11. And it was like one of the first games Hurts started, I think. But Hurts ran for like 75, I think, against them last year. He ran for a lot of yards. I wouldn't be surprised if he has to break pocket, and because their defense is so good, he has to use his legs more today than he did obviously last week. So I wouldn't be shocked if he has a decent rushing game.
Yeah, so I want to keep it moving. I know we got some time crunch here. I can agree with that a little bit. I didn't watch the last game. I think this team's a little bit different. I don't think their D line.
We are.
Yeah, I think this D line is I don't think their D line is good. They're good. I don't want to take anything about it. But when you look at the numbers, it's really just Bosa, right? The other guys are good and they're good against the run. But when you look at the sack numbers, Bosa has 18.5, and the closest guy after him was 5.
Right?
Yeah, like he's the closest guy next to him was 5. So I think if they can get Bosa neutralized somewhat and keep him at bay, chip him, guide her over there, Hurts is going to have time. Because the other guys are just not going to get home.
I honestly, I'm assuming that they might move Bosa around a lot because he's a left end and he's going to be facing Lane, and I love our matchup in that. I'll take Lane all day.
That's a wash
against anybody.
Yeah, that's a wash. All right, before we get off this game and go to the next game, my best bet of this game, my best player prop of this game is Jalen Hurts over 1.5 touchdowns. This was plus money when I got it. It was plus 110. Looks like a little bit of money has come on it, and now it's down to minus 104. I love this play. I think he throws for 2 touchdowns, and like you already said, you like AJ Brown and get one of them. So I completely agree. I think Hurts throws for 2. He might even throw for 2 in the first half. So that's my best player prop of the day is Jalen Hurts total touchdowns over 1.5. I did see somebody's talk about Elijah Mitchell. So before we go to the next game,
yeah, he's not playing, right?
Elijah Mitchell's out?
I think he's not playing.
Are you serious?
I swear to God. I was going to say, I think it's sneaky. Now, this is really a deep dive. This is more for a DFS if you're playing like a showdown. I know I'm going to be doing some showdowns for this game. I'm sure there's other people doing them. But sneaky play who got called up off the practice squad, Tevin Coleman. He might get a little – no, he's not going to do a lot, but he might get a few touches.
Oh, wow. I mean, he's injured with the groin. But wow, he might not play. That's crazy. I didn't even know that. That's huge, yo.
I'm pretty sure he's not playing.
Wow.
Because they definitely called up Tevin Coleman.
Wow. That's sneaky with Coleman's a decent.
Yeah, that's a strictly DFS type sneak play.
Yeah, Coleman's definitely been kind
when he plays, he gets a little burn. Yeah, he gets a little burn. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a nice scat back kind of. He's a nice kind of switch.
And like we were talking about quick passing, that's the kind of game that he plays. He's good out of the backfield, quick passing. He might have I'm not saying he's going to have a huge game, but he might get 20 yards receiving on 3 or 4 catches. And sometimes the DFS with a really cheap guy, that's what you need.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, we got about 10 minutes here before we cut out. I know, Matt. Yeah, there's your inside info for Elijah Mitchell. I did not know that. It's a good pickup, Willie. I know they were hurt.
Yeah, Matt. He is not playing, so don't play him.
Yeah. Completely agree. What up, Rob? What's going on, bro? All right, let's go to the next game. We have the Cincinnati.
Another game that should be a good game. Should be a damn good game.
Oh, great game. Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs. And right now is -2. Like I said, shop around. These lines might be -1.5, and the Eagles line might be -2.5. So just shop around a little bit here. Total is 47.5.
And like with your shop around thing. Sorry, Nate.
Yeah, go ahead. No,
your shop around thing, though, it's also a good thing to look around because right now they offer a lot of deals, a lot of different sports.
Yeah, a lot
of deals. And you can hop in for a special, maybe get a quick free bet or a free up to $500. They got all kinds of shit, so you might be able to catch a really good special if you shop around.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Get those promotions, man. If you're not signed up, sign up.
Absolutely.
Get those promotions. It's free money out there. So Rob says, do you guys think that Hardman will play? Could be a sneaky DFS play.
Yeah, I was waiting to see if they clear him, Rob. I'm not sure if he's going to play. I know he's been banged up. He's been out for a while now. What, like 2 months? But
has he been out that long? Wow.
I know
he practiced. He had limited practice.
But he's been limiting practices. So I mean, he is. That's another one. He's a guy that's got a lot of. He's got home run potential, and they use him a lot of ways when he's healthy. So that's another sneaky DFS play. You're correct.
Yeah, I agree. Is it like, are we only betting Travis Kelce and nothing else?
I mean, listen, Jamar Chase has the history of absolutely destroying the Chiefs. I don't know if that's gonna. I would assume the Chiefs are going to try to stop him from doing that, because I think he's had over 200 yards 2 of the last 3 games against them. He's an issue. So I'm not sure. Like, I would assume, like, he might just go crazy again, or the Chiefs are going to try to double him, blanket him, and T. Higgins has a big game. I'm not really sure, but one of them KC receivers is going to have. One of those Bengals receivers is going to have a big game.
Yeah, I agree. And they can, the Bengals run on the Chiefs. They typically have a good run game.
Well, the Bengals are a hard-nosed team. They're very similar to the Eagles. They love to beat you up front, which I love. Yeah. That's the kind of shit I love.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how they absolutely dominated the Bills on the lines. They dominated the O-line and dominated the D-line.
Absolutely. There was one play that I really did like here, and he's becoming more and more a part of this offense. And that's his receptions. He's going to have to be a big part of this game. So I'm looking for him to have at least 5 receptions out of the backfield. Jarrett McKinnon.
I don't see how used much last week. I feel like this wasn't. It's a big game for him this week, I think.
Yeah. So let me pull him up. I love over 4.5,
especially because I think it's going to be really tough. It's going to be really tough for Kansas City to traditionally run against the Bengals. They're not. I don't think it's going to be a very good Pacheco game. It's not a good game to use Pacheco. I think it's a much better McKinnon game. I would agree.
Yeah, absolutely. So I love his over 4.5 receptions here at plus 155. That's definitely going to be a play for me today. And then it's hard not to just put Kelce somewhere in there. Like, you just have to.
I mean, he's going to get a ton of targets. You know that.
Yeah, he's going to get a ton of targets. They played earlier today, and he was kind of in check a little bit. He only had 4 receptions for 56 yards. So, they know they want to use him. And he's a master of getting him the ball some way, somehow. But I mean, we saw in last game, he almost had 10 catches in the first half. Something crazy like that.
He ended up with 16 or something. I mean, he had a monster.
Yeah, he had a monster. Yeah, he had a monster game. So I don't think this is ever out of the realm of him getting these type of numbers, 7, 8, 9 catches. They're going to need him, pretty good today, especially if Mahomes is limited somewhat from his mobility. So you got to think about, just like you were talking about with Brock Purdy, quick passes, get it out of his hands fast. 1-2 hitch. 1-2, and then they'll take their shots. Yeah, get rid of it. Don't let them, let him get in the flow of the game, get their adrenaline going, get that ankle a little bit loose, because that thing's going to be like a walking boot on him. So he'll figure a way out. But anytime touchdown, Travis Kelce, his receptions over his yards, I'm not mad at you. Load up on that. But my favorite bet of this game is obviously Jarrett McKinnon over 4.5 yards. Anything else on this game? I think you got to get Kadarius Toney in here too.
I would assume that. Yeah, I was gonna say I would assume this is the kind of game that he gets used. I would think pretty a lot. Yeah. Like maybe some reverses, some misdirections, try to get the ball in his hands. So I would see he probably a good play for over yards.
Yep.
Kadarius Toney. Hayden Hurst has been getting used a decent amount. Wouldn't be shocked if Hayden Hurst catches a TD.
Yeah, he got a little bit healthier recently. If I'm not mistaken.
And I think he's caught a touchdown in like 4 straight for the Bengals.
Yeah. He's a matchup problem. So runs good routes. He was pretty good. He was decent in Baltimore, but he just fell out. Just couldn't stay healthy.
That's been his issue. I think everywhere he's been, even with the Falcons, he was there for like a year or 2. He can't stay healthy. When he's on the field, he produces.
Yeah. Anytime touchdown. I do like Mixon here. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume Mixon gets in the end zone. I would think that this is a good, if you're going to do like a little TD parlay, this is a good game to look at, because I would assume there's going to be
a lot of scoring.
I mean, there's going to be at least 5 TDs scored in this game. I'm just going to say that straight up. Like 5 TDs will be scored in this game for sure. So you got some guys that are going to score touchdowns. Like I'm a little maybe Hayden Hurst, Jamar Chase, Jamar Chase, Jerick McKinnon, Joe Mixon. Maybe a little guy that's got to be plus big money, and obviously it's tough to hit a four-man TD parlay on the same game. But hey, I think this is the kind of game you can though.
Yep, I agree. I completely agree. And your number was right on the number. They have it at 5.5 total touchdowns.
Yep,
at -109. So right on the number where we should be. All right, before we get out of here, like I said, we're a little bit crunched for time. A2D is doing a lot of stuff today.
They're going. I know they're down at a lot of guys are down at the tailgate. So if you're down there, stop on by. Hurts so good. They got Primo hoagies. They got all kinds of liquor. They got beer. They got all kinds of stuff. The food going. I think they're going to have a TV going for the game with a watch party. So if you're down there, stop on over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I've done this every show that I've been on, and I want to get your future bets on here, and we're going to get out of here. On Bet Parks Sportsbook, they have this kind of cool feature where you can bet the highest passing yards, receiving yards, and rushing yards throughout the playoffs, including the Super Bowl. So this probably will affect your bet too here, Willie, but give your top 3 bets here that you like right here. Most passing yards in the playoffs. Right now we have Burrow -118, Purdy at plus 140.
Burrow must have a solid lead, huh?
yeah, just a little bit. Well,
it's tougher for Mahomes or Hurts because they play one less of a game.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But then they might play one more game if neither of the top two make the ball. So out of this, are you sticking Burrow?
I would assume Mahomes is a good play here because they're going to have to throw the ball to win. And if they win today, at plus 550, I would think Mahomes is a damn good play. Because you think if they win today, he's going to throw for 300 in the Super Bowl and he'll pass whoever's in front of him.
Yeah, agreed. I like that bet as well. So plus 500 receiving is interesting. Chase at plus 125, Kelsey at 350. I think AJ Brown and Devontae Smith at plus 20 to 1.
I mean, if you think one of them has a monster game today, 20 to 1. I mean, you can throw a couple dollars on that.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I do out of this bet, I do like Kelsey a little bit more. He's just a dog. So if you think that KC's this is the kind of bet where if you think that Cincinnati's going to win, then maybe you take Chase. If you think KC's going to win, maybe you take Kelsey. Yeah, agreed. I think Kelsey's a decent bet. He just gets so much volume.
Yeah, just so much. I mean, he's going to get 12 to 15 targets. You just know.
Yeah, exactly. This is another interesting one. Rushing. I really like Miles here. at 4 to 1. Plus 450. McCaffrey is 140. Mixon is 175. Pacheco is plus 850. Gainwell on there because he had that 100-yard game last game.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Miles wants to get paid, this is a big game. It's a big game this is a game where if we can run the ball on them, we should be able to do whatever we want. And so this is a big game for Miles today. Big game.
Yeah. So give me Miles Sanders, plus 450. Those are the 3 bets we have for future bets and the most passing, receiving, and rushing yards. Now, like I said, make sure you guys always tune in. Tell a friend and tell a friend. I say it every goddamn time. Jump on the damn money train. Hop on. Check out MoneyPot Podcast. I'm dropping plays and bets each and every day. And obviously, Willie Vegas himself is dropping, his plays as well right on Facebook. So make sure you go check him out, Brian Wilson. So we got a lot of that out the way. I know Tommy's itching at the bit to get on here, but I just want to say
it's a big day. It's a big day.
It's a big fucking day. And I just want to say I can't wait to see my Eagles fly high, baby. Let's go. This is MoneyPot Podcast. This is Moss Money. That's Willie Vegas. This is A2D Radio. We're out. See you at the game.
Let's go.